Will the Patriots tank their season finale to get the number one draft pick? Plus, more smoke with Mike Vrabel and the Pats. All of that and more here on PatsCast.
Welcome to PatsCast. We're talking tanking today. Rookie QB Drake Maye, should he even play?
Welcome to PatsCast. I'm Brad Whitaker. What an exciting time it is to be a New England Patriots fan. Not because the team's any good. I mean, this is probably the worst team in the National Football League. At least that's what the standings say. Patriots currently hold the number one pick in the NFL draft with a week left in the regular season. All they have to do is lose in order to get the number one pick, and there's so much they can do there. They could stay at number one, take Travis Hunter. They could trade back from number one, maybe still have a chance to take Travis Hunter, address the edge spot, address the offensive line. There's plenty of opportunities and flexibility the Patriots would have if they were to land the number one draft pick, which they would if they were to beat the JV Buffalo Bills squad, who have nothing to play for on Sunday. Patriots don't win that game, they will drop somewhere between likely number 4 and number 5 in the draft. I guess if the Lions win on Monday Night Football, that makes it highly unlikely the Patriots would lose a strength of schedule tiebreaker with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So presumably if the Lions win Monday night, the Patriots end up with the top 4 draft pick. But there isn't a Patriots fan out there right now that is hoping they win on Sunday. We all want them to lose. We want a shot at Travis Hunter or a shot to trade back, pile up assets, and quickly rebuild this team. It's a weird situation to be in, to root against your team. We were kind of doing it last year, and that's how the Patriots got Drake Maye, and here we are again, rooting for the Patriots to lose so they can get potentially the number one pick in the draft. So, with that in mind, the Patriots might want to consider just tanking this game altogether. And it's not just because of the draft pick. Drake Maye was assessed for a concussion during Saturday's game against the LA Chargers. He was cleared and came back in. Now, I don't know how, because the hit to his head compared to the other hit he took to his head a couple of months ago where he had to leave the game and Jacoby Brissett came in and ultimately won, it looked a lot worse this Saturday. And I saw Drake Maye get hit, and I said, all right, we're not going to see him, not just this week, we're not going to see him for the rest of the season. But clearly he learned something from his first concussion test because, you know, if you can pass the test, it doesn't really matter if you have a concussion or not. You're going to get back in the game, and that's what Drake Maye did. Now, Drake Maye's not in the concussion protocol as far as I know today as of this recording Monday, December 30th, but if he was concussed a couple of months ago, he was clearly concussed on Saturday. So I don't know. He just knew the answers to the test this time and was able to get back in there. And I don't think Drake Maye will ever leave the game for a concussion at this point because he knows the answers to the test because he failed the test the first time he took it. So, but, you know, he had this concussion. That's a reason. We don't want to harm Drake Maye. We want to protect his health. The last thing we want is for him to get injured in week 18 and now suddenly he's not able to go in training camp or week 1 of the regular season. Patriots might want to rest Drake Maye. They have that argument, not just because of the number one draft pick. There's also this weird thing going on right now with Gerard Mayo, the head coach, and the coaching staff as a whole, and Elliott Wolf in the Patriots front office, and their job security issues lingering in the background. You know, most of us thought Gerard Mayo's job was secure, especially after the Patriots were competitive in Buffalo a couple of games ago, but losing 40-7 to the LA Chargers at home in December seems to have reopened those conversations a little bit. And lurking in the background is the opportunity cost of missing out on bringing in a Mike Vrabel or a Ben Johnson as the next head coach. Because, yeah, maybe Jonathan Kraft, they want to give Gerard Mayo one more year. They have the patience to do it, and they think they could get a lot out of it. But there is a trade-off there. If you're missing out on Mike Vrabel, and reports say he would be interested in coming to the Patriots, and we'll get to that in just a moment, you're missing out on Mike Vrabel. Maybe you say, look, we're confident in Gerard Mayo, but we're even more confident we could bring in a Mike Vrabel or a Ben Johnson and be even better, and we think the likelihood of us having success with those coaches are greater than Gerard Mayo, well, that's something that Robert Kraft is going to have to weigh. So all of this is kind of lurking in the background as the Patriots head into their season finale against the Buffalo Bills, who once again, they can't get home field advantage. They can't get the number 1 seed. They can't fall back to the 3rd seed. They have number 2 locked up after their victory against the New York Jets on Sunday. So there's a real chance they won't play Josh Allen. They'll rest their starters. They'll have the JV squad out there. And that kind of only increases the Patriots' odds of actually winning this game, especially considering they almost beat the varsity squad in Buffalo a couple of games ago. So that just raises the argument, hey, we have a chance at the number 1 draft pick. We want to protect Drake Maye. There's all these weird things going on right now with the front office and the coaching staff and their job security. Maybe we just play nothing but backups 2 against the Bills, and this won't count against Gerard Mayo. This won't count against Elliott Wolf. We just want the number 1 pick because it's going to put our organization in the best position possible. Well, Gerard Mayo was asked on Monday, and he did not rule out benching Drake Maye. He was asked if he was considering resting Maye to protect their franchise quarterback, especially after Sunday's close call, or Saturday's close call against the LA Chargers. Mayo responded, quote, "I would say everything is in consideration, and we'll see how the week goes." Now, like I said, this is a very interesting situation once you consider Mayo's situation of potentially being on the hot seat. If he is in fact on the hot seat and Robert Kraft is really thinking about Mike Vrabel or moving on from Gerard Mayo or getting an interview with Ben Johnson, then why would Gerard Mayo sit, their only dynamic offensive player? You know, the Bills aren't playing for anything at this point. He can pick up potentially an easy win that's only going to help his job security. So, you know, while Maye sitting might not hurt him, they wouldn't hold it against him. Patriots are essentially throwing in the towel. Gerard Mayo is essentially throwing in the towel and taking away any opportunity to prove himself if the Patriots do indeed decide to sit Drake Maye. So those are the conversations they're having right now. And I don't know if ownership is willing to go up to Gerard Mayo and say, hey, your job is safe. Just sit Drake Maye. There's too much at stake with his health and the number 1 draft pick. As far as I know, that assurance has not been made to Gerard Mayo. And wouldn't you think if Robert Kraft, Jonathan Kraft, at this moment in time, were saying, we're going to stick with Gerard Mayo no matter what, they would go up to him and say that. Look, don't feel like you're playing for your job here. Protect the franchise quarterback. Christian Gonzalez had a concussion last week. Protect him. Protect all of our starters. Get through the week, and you're safe here. I would think Robert Kraft or Jonathan Kraft would go up to Gerard Mayo and say that. And as far as I've heard, nothing like that has happened. And look, I think we all agree at this point, Drake Maye should probably sit. We know we have the franchise quarterback in New England. Nothing good comes out of this game, and getting the number 1 draft pick would obviously be huge for the Patriots. So there's a lot going on here, and if Gerard Mayo does feel like his job is on the line, then he's probably a lot more likely to play Drake Maye on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills than if he doesn't think his job is on the line. So would the Crafts talk to him? Would they be willing to do that beforehand? Does Gerard Mayo feel secure going into this week? That could factor into this decision. But as of right now, at least according to Gerard Mayo, the Patriots, all options are on the table, including resting Drake Maye. He was also asked today about the potential for elevating third-string quarterback, who's been the emergency quarterback all season long, Joe Milton, to the starting role on Sunday. And Gerard Mayo added, it's absolutely a possibility. And that's the best idea, in my opinion. All right, you sit Drake Maye, not going to play him at all. Maybe you make him the emergency third-string quarterback. You keep Jacoby Brissett as the backup. We know Jacoby Brissett could go in there and win that game. So if you're going to sit Drake Maye, putting Jacoby Brissett out there, yeah, there's going to be a drop in performance, but you're putting a veteran quarterback out there going up against backups. The Patriots probably going to win that game. You start Joe Milton III, his first career NFL start, and see what happens. And look, it would, at the very least, it would provide an entertaining product and certainly enhance the Patriots' chances of losing that game. Now, there is always the worry of a Matt Flynn tank game situation where Joe Milton just goes off and the Patriots actually win the game. Remember back in 2011, Green Bay Packers, I think they finished 15-1 that season, then of course got eliminated their first chance in the playoffs under Aaron Rodgers. But they were 15-1. They had nothing to play for heading into the final week of the season. So backup Matt Flynn got the start for Green Bay, and he came in and threw for 480 yards and 6 touchdowns, and they ended up winning the game 45-41 over the Detroit Lions. Now, they weren't tanking to get a draft pick. It was just a game where, hey, we'll throw the backup out there as the starter. We have nothing to play for. We have a bye. We'll give our players a couple weeks worth of rest. Well, Matt Flynn went out there and just absolutely torched the Lions. 6 touchdowns, 480 yards. He was going against Matt Stafford on the other side with Detroit. He actually threw for more yardage, 520 yards with 5 touchdowns. As far as I know, this is the only time in NFL history 2 quarterbacks have combined for 1,000 yards or more. You don't want that to happen where Joe Milton just goes out there and throws for 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, and suddenly Patriots are back to the number 4, the number 5 draft pick. But I'm really not expecting that to happen with Joe Milton. But here's the thing. Even if that were to happen and the Patriots somehow win, Joe Milton plays a great game, throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns, has a rushing touchdown in there, it would be a bummer, but they could showcase Milton and trade him for draft picks down the road. Look, we know Drake Maye is the franchise quarterback of the future. Joe Milton goes out there and performs on Sunday. All the opportunity in the world to trade him and get, a 4th or a 5th round pick because somebody looks at this guy and says, he might have future first round pick potential. He basically is just a more raw version of Drake Maye coming into the NFL. More size, more athletic, more speed, bigger arm strength, believe it or not. Joe Milton, if he were to play well in that game, the Patriots could get something in return. That is what happened with Matt Flynn. He earned a 3-year, $20 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks after that game. Ultimately got beat out by Russell Wilson for the starting job. But I think we're all fans here of playing Joe Milton for the full season finale against the Bills. He's fun to watch. Worst case, he plays well and the Patriots can package him for some picks. And let's be honest, even if Joe Milton does play well, he'll probably still throw 4 interceptions because that's just the kind of player he is. He will telegraph a slant right to the middle of the field and the strong safety will get a pick, and that'll happen like 2 or 3 times. So that's my idea. You elevate Joe Milton, you make him the starter against the Buffalo Bills. See what happens, and Patriots land the number 1 draft pick, and you don't hold it against Gerard Mayo. Let this game not count, get the number 1 pick, and then see what happens. But speaking of Gerard Mayo and the head coaching role, we did get some news today regarding Mike Vrabel and the potential of him becoming the next head coach of the New England Patriots. According to Adam Schefter, Mike Vrabel's consulting deal with the Cleveland Browns officially expired today. This recording, Monday, December 30th. Mike Vrabel is no longer an advisor for the Cleveland Browns. He's on the market. He's looking for his next head coaching gig right now. We also got some news out of Diana Russini on Mike Vrabel. She's very close with Mike Vrabel. She's going to break a ton of news regarding Vrabel over the next few months. According to Diana Russini, Mike Vrabel is reportedly interested in the New Orleans Saints, or rather, there's interest between the New Orleans Saints and Mike Vrabel, the New York Jets, and the New England Patriots if it were to open up. Russini says Vrabel will prioritize positive ownership situations and teams with either a quality quarterback in place or a path to getting one in the near future. That means he's putting the feelers out there, and for him to say to Diana Russini, hey, throw it out there, I'm interested in the Patriots job. If it were to open, I want to go to a team with a good ownership situation, with a quarterback of the future. I don't think you're really getting the quarterback in the future in New Orleans with the uncertainty of Derek Carr and the injuries and Spencer Rattler. It's hard to say whether or not he has a future as a starting franchise quarterback. I think he's a backup at best. And we don't even know with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets in that situation at this point. The Jets were in the running for the number one pick until fairly recently, I think. So they may want to get a quarterback, but I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to take Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward without trading up. Aaron Rodgers and Mike Vrabel, is that a guy he really wants to coach? I don't think so. So between those three teams, the only one with a real quarterback of the future, or in a position to get the quarterback of the future, I guess New Orleans could get one, the Jets, if they get high draft spots, but the Patriots, obviously, they have Drake Maye. And then, of course, Mike Vrabel was elected into the Patriots Ring of Honor in 2023, was very buddy-buddy with Robert Kraft in the owner's box. I guess it pissed off the Titans owner, and that was a big reason he ended up getting fired in Tennessee. But good relationship with Robert Kraft, good quarterback, maybe the best quarterback of this rookie draft, although Jaden Daniels looked pretty good yesterday. I don't know. It sounds like Mike Vrabel wants to be the head coach of the Patriots. He's putting that out there as much as possible, and now he's saying, Robert Kraft, the ball is in your court. If you're willing to do this, I'm willing to come there. I think that's what's happening right now, and Mike Vrabel seems to be very interested. So, look, it's a tough situation with Gerard Mayo. I know Vrabel is the type of guy who is very emotional. He tends to trust his gut. It worked out with Bill Belichick when he trusted his gut. It kind of worked out with Pete Carroll trusting his gut, but remember, Pete Carroll was there for 3 seasons. They went to the playoffs twice in those seasons. They won a playoff game, I think, one of those years. And then he had like an 8-8 year, and Robert Kraft was willing to move on from him then. If he was willing to move on from 8-8 Pete Carroll, who made the postseason twice, you know, I get the patience for Gerard Mayo, but most people are fairly confident Mike Vrabel is like a top 10, maybe even top 5 NFL head coach. You bring him in there, I think the Patriots have a good enough roster right now where you at least are going to win 6 or 7 games with Mike Vrabel. They make some moves in the offseason. This team might actually be pretty good. And I don't know, I think the timeline, you can speed up the timeline quite a bit by bringing in a coach that's built a program, helped to build a program in college, he was with Ohio State, so he was part of that. He built an organization as a head coach with the Tennessee Titans, was in plenty of different coordinator roles in both the NFL and college. He knows guys he wants to hire. He has a massive network, which Gerard Mayo does not have because he's only spent his entire coaching and playing career in New England. You can speed this thing up pretty quickly by bringing in a Mike Vrabel, and we've heard the links, at least from Greg Vidard, that Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels may be interested in coaching together. You bring in a Josh McDaniels to work with Drake Maye. The sky's the limit, really, there. So, look, I think Vrabel's putting out all the feelers, and he's letting it be known that he's interested in the Patriots. Robert Kraft, it is your move. Going to be very interesting to see how this plays out in the next week or so, but look, the Patriots, with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, if they can lose this Sunday against the Bills, the most cap space in the NFL, a franchise quarterback that everyone feels very confident in going forward. Looking at that, if they had a vacancy at head coach and they had a vacancy at general manager, this might be one of the most attractive jobs we've seen in the NFL in a very long time. And yeah, I know New England's cold, income tax in Massachusetts, there's all that stuff, but the stars aligning of having the number 1 pick, the most amount of cap space, and a franchise quarterback heading into the second year of his rookie contract that you're very confident in, the stars do not align this much. I think because of this situation, it is the perfect storm to bring in a guy like Mike Vrabel or get an interview with a guy like Ben Johnson, who I think would be interested, or get the best general manager potentially available. I know Robert Kraft really wanted to be patient and run it back for at least a couple years with Gerard Mayo and Elliott Wolf, but this opportunity, the stars aligning with the quarterback, the draft pick, the cap space, use this opportunity to recruit the best of the very best and bring them to the Patriots and get this franchise back to where they should be. again, worst team in the NFL, but very exciting time to be a fan, and there's going to be plenty of content to chat about here on this podcast. If you enjoyed this video and you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, or subscribe if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and we'll see you very soon.
Welcome to PatsCast, we're talking taking today. Rookie QB Drake Maye, should he even play? Cleared the test, but we're not impressed. That hit was awarded, maybe he should rest. The Bills got nothing riding, the 2 seed is secure. But for the Pats, the stakes are clear and pure. Lose on Sunday, lock the top draft slot, win and risk the future. Now we'd rather not. PatsCast, draft dreams at stake. Should we bench Drake Maye for the team's own sake? PatsCast, it's time to decide. With the #1 pick, let the future ride. Gerard Mayo, is your seat too hot to chill? Would Kraft tell you to take? Maybe foot the bill. Coaching for your job, would you make the call to sit Drake Maye and risk it all? Start Joe Milton, sit Maye, and let's see how it goes. He plays well, then trade him, that's how the story flows. But what about Vrabel? The rumors are real. Could he be the next coach to lead the Pats with zeal? PatsCast, decisions collide. Will we sit Drake Maye and let Milton ride? PatsCast, it's all on the line. One more game for the draft, it's Patriots time. Let's go! Mike Vrabel deal done. Is he ready to roam back to Foxborough, where he once called home? The ring of honor's waiting, his name's on the wall. Could he rebuild this team and answer the call? PatsCast, the future's near. Drafting first or fourth, we need it clear. PatsCast, fans unite, lose the battle now.